everybody. Welcome to your favorite White Sox podcast. The White Sox did what? Where the White Sox do something again to piss us off or surprise us in a good way. It's me and your favorite host, JJ3, and your favorite co host, Harry here. And we present to you all things White Sox. So, where are we going to start today? Let's not
Pitching,
start
more
at our
pitching, bro.
record. Start. We can start with pitching. I like where we're going with pitching. We can start with let's start with the young boy, the one that we traded for that even started this year some games. Drew Thorpe. Let's talk about what he did, how we liked the first outing, because I don't think we got to talk too much about his first start to his second start, because I think he's only played two games. I'll check as we speak, but let me make sure. If you want to just real quick, let us know your thoughts on Thorpe's last start, JJ3.
So Thorpe was actually, when he got called up, I think his first start was against Seattle. Went about 5 innings, gave up what, 1 run, 2 runs. I think he gave up one earned run. They scored 2 runs off of him when he was in the game. First outing was solid. He did pretty decent. I think we touched on it just a little bit. I think he probably had a little bit of nervous energy when he first came out for that first start. But he settled into a decent little groove, pitched a pretty solid game, got out of there with very little damage. Thumbs up to him for that one. Second start, not so good, bro. Second start, he got a more of a welcome to the major leagues. He got kicked in the head, kicked in the mouth a little bit. They roughed him up. I think it was the Diamondbacks, I want to say.
Okay.
Lots of hits given up, about 7-8 hits given up in that game. Or excuse me, runs given up in that game. Not all of them. I want to say not all of them was on his ledger, but he
No.
100% had a welcome to the major league moment in that one. And it wasn't a good look for him. You know what I mean? Not at all. He actually did have a third start against the Tigers. That came
Correct.
on last week. 6 innings, 2 hits, no runs. So again, he bounced right back, had another positive step in the right direction. So kudos and credit to him for that one. So mixed bag. He's a rookie. It's to be expected. It's nothing. It's too early to say that. Yeah, we got a future ace on our hands. We could potentially talk about a future ace that the Sox do have here in a moment, but positive steps from Drew Thorpe. Again, thumbs up. You gotta like what you've seen from him so far to this point. What do you think?
I like his last start. He pitched 6 innings, only allowed 2 hits, lowered his ERA to 5 because I think before the game it was at like 7, which frustrates me because it was Grifal's fault. I don't like leaving rookies in when they're getting lit up. You can leave a veteran in when they're getting lit up, but a rookie, you got to help his confidence. You got to lower his ERA. Tell him, hey, we're gonna take you out when you give up 3 runs in an inning. Put you in next time. So I don't like what Grifal did game 2 with Thorpe,
Isn't
but yeah,
everything
against
Grifal's fault?
Seattle. I'm sorry.
I said, isn't everything Grifal's fault?
You said what?
I said, isn't everything Grifal's
No,
fault?
not
Like,
everything, but
wrong.
this thing definitely is. Not everything. And then the Seattle game, I actually don't count because Seattle is like I think they're the number one strikeout team in the league, if not the Red Sox or the Nationals. Which doesn't mean the record's bad, but they can't hit anything. Kind of like the Cubs or us can't hit anything. So Seattle game, I was like, they suck. And then the next game was my real Thorpe test. So seeing him get lit up after him facing Seattle, but seeing on the light him up, who also actually isn't that good of a hitting team. Like no one's really on a hot streak. There's no one you really have to worry about except maybe Christian Walker, who did send it like 496 feet on Thorpe. But outside of that, they're not that hot of a team. Marte's okay. He has his moments, but no one on Arizona is consistent pitching or hitting it, which is so strange because they got a lot of solid contact guys. But yeah, I just didn't like what Grifal did with Thorpe against Arizona. And then I thought he did surprise me at Detroit because I thought Detroit, who is a way better hitting team than Arizona. I thought they would light him up more. So his true potential to me was the Detroit game. The
Mm,
Seattle game was a blip on the radar. The Arizona game, like you said earlier, was a hey, welcome to the MLB kid type of game where he
for
gave up
sure.
6 runs in 3 innings. At run 4, I would have subbed him out, even if it's first inning. Yep, because I think by I think by like the third inning he was already at 60 pitches. So at his pace, he was on pace to be out by 4 innings anyway. He didn't really have his control. His slider got away from him, so he tried to slide it high, but then it would get lower and it would lower right in the middle of the strike zone. So it was a feast. The Diamondbacks feasted on him. He hit. It was like a home run derby. He threw it perfectly where they would in a home run derby. He's still not a. I still don't know what to call him. For now, I'll still call him a off ball pitcher because he's got a mean slider when he's on. Just like every Sox pitcher, when we have them, for some except for Crochet, but when we have them, they got to work on their control issues. I remember Giolito wasn't really a heavy strikeout guy in my opinion, but his bad games weren't because the other team was just so hot they'd hit anything. Giolito's bad games are his control issues. So we've
Mm.
seen 2 games of Thorpe with great control on his slider and his changeup. One really bad game where every pitch he threw was just going right down the middle of the box. Bam, home run. Bam, hit. So if he keeps this up, I think that Detroit was the biggest test. I don't know when his next start is, but I do like what I see in Detroit. And honestly, if it's not already listed, I just right now put him in as our fifth rotational starter because Soroka's been relegated to middle relief, and he's been terrible there. You can't put Soroka at closer. So just put Thorpe in as the fifth starter behind. I think Flexen's our fourth, or no, not Flexen, Clevenger. I think he's our fourth. Then put Thorpe at fifth, and I think just leave him there the rest of the year and let him work the kinks out, and he'll be super ready next year. I don't really know if he was ready this year, but whatever's going on with him, he'll work on it, and I think he'll be 1,000% ready next year.
Which is good. I mean, let him get more experience. Let him get his lumps, right? I mean, this is what
Absolutely,
being a professional is about. You're gonna have good games. You're gonna have bad
fact.
games, especially as a rookie. So, let him live and learn. Speaking of White Sox pitchers, Eric Fetty's starting today against the Dodgers, and he's not having the best of luck so far. Um, Live score update: Sox are down 4-0 in the third.
That sucks. That sucks.
Yeah.
I really wish it wasn't that bad right now, but I don't like how we're playing against the Dodgers. We should be walking Otani. They already have bets out. I think the general rule is when one of the stars, when one of the better hitters is out with bets, bam, now you can walk just like Mets are doing with Aaron Judge. Even though they still give him 2 at bats, they still walk him the first 2 times to try to throw him off. Why are we throwing to Otani? Because he's hitting a home run every first inning because we keep throwing to him. It's so stupid. Walk him, then try to strike out Will Smith, then try to strike out Freddie Freeman, and try to strike out Hernandez. Let Otani just sit there and watch us strike out all the people behind him. I I don't know. I don't think we're playing that great. I don't think the strategy is that smart because it's not like we're getting killed. We're literally losing every game by like 1 run, except for this one. We're down 0-4, but won't be shocked if we come back and only score 3, and then the game ends 3-4. Dodgers win. Yeah, we haven't been playing too bad. It's just the little things that are causing these losses, and that might be a manager issue because we shouldn't
I
be
mean,
somewhat like we are keeping up with the Dodgers.
I put
Outside
everything as a
outside of
manager
Glass
issue.
now, true. Outside
Um,
of Glass now, which to me he's the second best pitcher in baseball. Even Stone. Stone's got like 8 wins. He's not that. He's not anything that we're gonna be like, oh my god, we have to go up against Stone. Stone is hittable. We can't hit on Stone. The pitchers they've thrown at us because we haven't faced Glass now. All the other guys in the rotation on Dodgers they've thrown at us. We've done pretty well against them, but for some odd reason, we just keep losing by this much to them. And yeah, Grafal's got to adjust the defense. He's got to do something because this is getting stupid. Don't tell me these rules where we can't adjust are what's affecting Grafal.
oh no, oh no.
Because
I
if they
mean,
are, he's got to go.
Well, you're talking my language as far as getting rid of Grafal. Whether that happens sooner or later, still remains to be seen. And even though Fetty's getting roughed up here right now early in tonight's game, he's still been better than just trash. I mean, he hasn't been awful. And the Sox pitching rotation overall, the pitching rotation overall has actually been competitive. It's actually been pretty solid.
It is.
Not Garrett Crochet, and we're going to give Garrett Crochet his flowers because again, props to him as a guy who coming off Tommy John surgery, didn't pitch in 2 years, has never been a starting pitcher in his professional career, which we highlighted on the first episode of this show when he was announced the starter. And he's been the starter since day one, since opening day, and he's been great. I mean, for all intents and purposes, he's been terrific. He's had a couple of bad games thrown in here or there, which happens to every starting pitcher. I mean, Garrett Crochet just got his head stumped in by the Mets last night, I want to say. I mean, it's going to happen, right? Every elite pitcher is going to have a rough outing or two where your command and or your control is not there. But props to Crochet, give him his flowers. He's been terrific, and the pitching rotation as a whole, and especially in the last few weeks, has been solid and competitive, and has given the White Sox chances in almost every game that they've played here recently.
I'd say every game. Every game.
I mean, they've had a couple of games that have gotten away from them for certain. Tonight's game potentially has the possibility of getting away from them as well. But I mean, like you said, I mean, last night they lost 4-3, right? In the game that they were winning, right? They had the lead for a portion of that game, and then what happened is it slowly got away from them. And then anytime you start going to the Sox bullpen, they can't be counted on. So anytime you have late leads in these games, they get away, and you can't hold the lead. You can't count on your bullpen. You can't count on your rotation. It's a tough thing to deal with, but this is life as professionals, right? You got to deal with it. Grafal, as the manager, you got to deal with it. It is what it is. It's tough luck.
No, I agree. To add in, I actually would call Crochet the best pitcher in baseball right now, regardless of records, because I'm a combination of Ks and ERA guy. Crochet is not a fraud like that pitcher up north. What's his name? Omni-Man? Inuyasha? What is that fraud's name? Imanaga? Up north?
That's it. Imanaga.
Yeah, that guy gives up a lot of hits low-key, but he gets saved by the defense. As everyone knows, Sox don't have any defense. So if Crochet isn't pitching his ass off, we're going to lose. And you know what? Even games he does pitch his ass off, we still lose because he's got to do everything. No one has to carry as much as he does. Some people would argue Glasnow, but Glasnow has a monster lineup, even with Betts out, with Ohtani, because Glasnow just took back the lead in Ks over Crochet. But Glasnow has Ohtani, Glasnow has Freddie Freeman, Glasnow has Mookie Betts, Will Smith. This Hernandez dude is hitting home runs out of nowhere. If Glasnow has a bad game, which sometimes he does, they still have a high chance of winning, like Stone.
For sure.
Stone right now. Stone's pitching okay, but they're probably going to win because, one, it's the White Sox. And two, he's got an offense behind him. Sox are probably the worst scoring team in the league, if not easily top five. We can't score. So many other – you could argue as far as if you just take away K, because I'm a strikeout guy, but if you just want to argue ERA to insert the off-ball pitchers in there, then he could argue it's Ranger Suarez or Zach Wheeler. But you know what? Those guys are on the same team. They both have 10 and 9 wins respectively, but they've also got a very potent offense in Philly with Castellano. Bryce Harper's on fire right now. Cal Schwarber former Cub, which I still don't understand why they let him go because he
I
got
don't know
let
what
go
they're doing
before
over
they
there.
let go everybody. He got let go long before they let go Bryant and the rest of them. It just didn't make any sense with that. I was like, you guys let go Schwarber? Whatever. But yeah, Garrett Crochet literally has to put his team on his back. I think Garrett Crochet has. Well, he's been in games where we've won 7 of them. 7 wins, even though his record's 6-6. Clearly, one game he didn't get credit for the win, probably because it was a tie. But 7 games have been won directly with Crochet starting, and that's a lot because I think we only have 15 wins. So Crochet's almost accounted for half the wins that White Sox have. I don't think there's any more bigger win share, or is that a WAR? I forget how the WAR and win share stats work. But I think, yeah, but no one has as much in a win share as have to carry his team on his back as Garrett Crochet does. Even Chris Sale. I think Chris Sale probably is also top 3 in strikeouts, top 3 in wins, along with Ranger Suarez, but he doesn't have Ranger Suarez's ERA. But Chris Sale's another one. Even though right now, for some unknown, oh, she is bad. I'm sorry. A little nice check. She's hey, mama, cuckoo. Anyway, I'm back. Yeah, so even though Ranger Suarez, even though Chris said Atlanta Braves aren't hitting like they used to, probably because Acuna is out, like who's like I guess a Mookie Betts clone, because both of those guys are just 5 tool guys that do everything. That Luis Robert should be the third clone of Mookie Betts and Ozuna, but that's another story. He still has the support Crochet doesn't. You'll see Chris Sale come in, he'll get 10 Ks, and he'll only allow 1 run, but Braves will put up 7 runs while Chris Sale only allows 1 run. Crochet comes in, throws the same 9, 10 Ks, only allows 1 run. We still have 0. We don't score. Let me hold on. Let me look this up. Yeah, of all the games Crochet, yeah, right, versus the Dodgers. Dodgers put up 3 runs. That's it, 3, and we lost 3-0. Crochet got that L because we couldn't score any points. We lost
Facts.
3-0 with a Crochet start. Houston before that 4-1. Seattle's a cakewalk. Seattle's the worst hitting team in the league. 13 Ks, but they still scored 2 and almost won. We only scored 3. Now Boston is when we showed up. Boston's one of the worst hitting teams in the league. He put up 10 Ks. We won 7-2. That's 7-2 games are what Chris Sale, Ranger Suarez, and Glass now and Zach Wheeler get that Crochet doesn't. So because of that support that they have offensively, I don't count them as better than Crochet, who is the best pitcher in the league, because he just has to do more. If he has a bad game, it's an automatic loss. If he has a good game, it's a 50-50. We don't know. We hope for the win, but he is just in a different circumstances where he is showing up consistently. His last actual bad game was in April, right before my son's birthday, April 9th. It was 4/19. So because the next day was 4/20, he was probably just excited to smoke weed. That's all that was. And we lost to the Phillies 0-7. And I think he only threw like maybe 3 Ks. Let me look it up. He only threw 3 Ks, and that's it. And he got lit up. He only played 3 innings, and he got subbed out. But ever since then, he's just been minimum 6 Ks a game, except on May 21st versus Toronto. Toronto has hitters where he only threw 4 Ks, but we still won. We actually had a shutout that game. So I'm shocked that he played bad, but that's his only bad game where we won. Every other game, he has to throw 6 Ks, 11 Ks, 10 Ks, 13 Ks. He is a monster. To me, at least, my argument is he is the best player in baseball because of what he has to do for us to maybe get a win.
Whoa. Hold on. What's going on? Who's the best player in baseball? What'd you say?
No, I'm sorry. The best pitcher. I said player. I don't count pitchers every day. They should never win an MVP. But that's a whole frustrating argument. I don't wanna dip in and put my finger on. Pause.
I got busy for a second. I was like, what did you just say? What happened? Who's the best player?
That's a subject I don't want to put my finger in, or should I say my fingers in? Yeah, but Crochet is the best starting pitcher in baseball, and he better make the All-Star. I don't care how many top guys, even though most of the top pitchers are in the NL. Yeah, it's like Crochet, and then the rest of the top guys are all in the NL. Glass now, Suarez, Wheeler, Sale. So NL is gonna have some somebody's gonna get left out in the NL rotation for All Star, and everyone's gonna be pissed. He's got left out last year in the AL, which pissed everyone off. Or at least he got left out for the Cy Young. He didn't get left out for the All Star. But I do think Crochet should get the Cy Young this year, at least in the AL, or one of the Cy Youngs, because the guy has just been a monster offensively in the American League.
So you got Crochet as the best pitcher in the league. You got him as he should be the Cy Young favorite in the league. This is some pretty high praise for a guy who, again, hasn't been a professional starter until this season and has only pitched
I agree.
a total of what, 59, 60 innings total innings pitched prior to this year. So this is a lot of high praise for a guy who coming in had very minimal experience. So flowers to Garrett Crochet for sure.
Absolutely.
Whether he remains on the White Sox remains to be seen, because the way the trade rumors are circling around him and Luis Robert, who's also one of the other best player on this team. The Dodgers are sniffing around both players.
Of course Mariners, they are. They want another Mookie Betts. They see the Phillies.
Mookie is injured, but he'll be back. I mean, he's typically their leadoff hitter.
He doesn't even need surgery,
but he'll be back. But yeah, the Dodgers are interested in Luis Robert and Crochet. The Mariners are interested, and the damn San Diego Padres are.
Do they have some kind of blackmail on us? What is it, San Diego always?
I really want to know, because the way they keep coming after the White Sox and getting the best of all these damn trades is maddening. Because they keep.
Is it some kind of payback for us taking Jake Peavy from them? Remember Peavy? Peavy was nice.
Stay off the phone with the damn Padres, man. Don't talk to them. Like,
please
no. I don't want any more trades with the Padres. They always.
I just don't want to lose Crochet and Robert, because like I said last time we did, the whole point of a rebuild is you surround around your young talent. Crochet and Robert are young talent. Surround around them. So now we're seeing the young talent that should be killing, and we're going to trade them for more unproven young talent. I could see if it was a mid-level guy or some super top guy getting paid a lot. I understand that's what happens in a rebuild. You rebuild because of the cash strapped that you're going to be to still have the same record. But Crochet isn't costing you anything. Robert right now isn't costing you anything. And even if he does, it'll be in the future when we should be winning. Surround them with talent. Again, I'm assuming this is a baseball culture. Because to me, if I'm a GM, I'm spending like the Dodgers. I'm spending like the Yankees.
Well,
I don't understand small ball in baseball, and I don't understand big markets trying to be small ball in baseball like in Chicago is.
Well, it's definitely baseball culture. And I'll honestly admit that I understand, but I don't understand why it's all or nothing every single year. That part has never made sense. Like I understand why teams make the trades that they do, but a lot of teams will sell quickly, early and often at times when they likely be better off just kind of holding their chips and just waiting for a little bit. As far as spending money like the Dodgers, I mean, as long as Reinsdorf is in charge, the White Sox will never, ever, ever do that. And we've already touched on his cheapness and belligerence, but man, cheap than a motherfucker. But no, man, like I would like to see those players stay potentially. I definitely don't want to see anybody go to the damn Padres. Like, don't do that. But yeah, I would like to see those players stay, man. They're good. They're good players. Like the White Sox have always been capable of finding and developing pitching talent. That's probably the most consistent area of baseball that they've been good at.
Facts. I'll give them that. That's all we do.
30 years almost. Like we can go back to pitchers that they've developed who have been high quality starters, potential Cy Young winners. I mean, Cease, Sale, I mean, Burley. Like we can name a ton of White Sox pitchers going back a couple decades that have always developed and done well. So
even Dale Dunning, he's on Texans starting now. I wanted to keep him. He was a guarantee, still is. He's a guarantee for strikeouts a game.
Yeah, and that goes to the philosophy and culture within baseball, because the White Sox traded him to get Lance Lynn because they believed they were in the contention window where they wanted an immediate starter with skins on the wall, who's already got a track record, right, that they could count on.
He actually was better than Kopech to me, because him and Kopech were like, well, I think they were both rookies at the time, and I was like, yo, this Dunning kid might be just as good as Kopech. Let's develop them both. I actually don't think we ever needed Lance Lynn, but that was just me at the time.
No, I understand what you're saying. Understand what you're saying. I feel as though, again, like I said, they made that move because they felt like they were entering the contention window, and Lance Lynn was a guy that they could count on immediately, right away. And Dunning would have taken a couple more years to get to that point where you could rely on him consistently.
Right.
Whether that was truly the right decision, I mean, we can look at it right now and make the argument that it wasn't, because the Sox contention window closed extremely quickly. So there you have it. But overall, that's just the philosophy in the sport. A lot of these teams make trades quickly. They try to rebuild at times, or they just try to sell off players because they're having a down year. Like, you could be a playoff team the previous season, and then now all of a sudden you come into the following year and you're having a down year and a bad year, and now it's all of a sudden, let's sell off 2 or 3 players. But, just last year you were in contention for your division, and now this year, because you're having a worse year, you want to start getting rid of guys. But that's always been baseball culture. It's always been sell while you can, whether that's right or wrong, good or bad. I don't necessarily
we don't see the teams that have the most championships do that. We see the Yankees consistently winning. We see the Dodgers consistently. Let's keep going, even if they don't make playoffs with that bloated roster. They're like, yeah, let's just add more people to the bloated roster. And what are we doing? Let's burn it all down and restart.
That's organization. That's a level of organizational incompetence and stupidity that kind of leads to that, because the Dodgers especially have always been good. Like, I don't recall off the top of my head the last season the Dodgers were trash.
Facts.
Or not even, I won't even go so far as to say trash, but just not highly competitive. Like, I can't think off the top of my head in the last 10, 12, 15 years that they haven't been one of the better teams in the sport. Yankees, I can at least probably pick out 1 or 2 years where they've kind of been down, didn't make the playoffs, so for whatever reason. But the Yankees have always shown a tendency to bounce back because they're always willing to either spin at the top of the market or make competitive trades to get them where they need to be. And they've always been good at developing position players. They've always been good at that. They've always been able to find somebody like Judge, who's a monster, who's going to be the runaway MVP in the American League this year. They've always been able to find somebody to do that. Oh, yeah, I do think so. I think Judge is going to lock it in. I mean, honestly, his main competition over the last couple of years was Ohtani, and now Ohtani's in the National League. So Judge is leading.
I was going to say, put Altuve in there too a little bit.
Not over Judge. Not over Judge.
No, not over Judge. I'm just saying in the running, but no, not over Judge.
Yeah, I mean, it's a lot of guys you can see in the running, but Judge is I think he's gonna easily take this thing. Like, I think that all the stats.
And NL is stacked, aren't they?
Yeah, it's a lot of stacked talent around in the NL. Shohei's gonna win the MVP in the NL, but regardless. But yeah, back to the main thing is that these trade rumors, they're always going to circle the White Sox because how bad the White Sox are, and whether or not they do go through with those trades is the part that's going to remain to be seen, obviously. If they trade Crochet or if they trade Robert, I think I want to say I wasn't as I thought the probability of Robert getting traded was low earlier in the year. I feel like I said that as well, that I didn't expect him to be traded this year. But now I'm waffling on that myself because I think the probability has definitely grown that there's a greater chance they might in fact trade him now. And I know they've said that they don't necessarily want to trade Crochet or that they won't, but I mean, if a team comes calling with a good enough offer, I don't necessarily see Chris Getz turning it down, which I guess can be good or bad.
What is a good enough offer for the best pitcher in baseball?
I mean, you tell me. You got him as the best pitcher in baseball. What would you say is a good enough offer? How many top prospects?
What did Pirates get for Garrett Cole? Because usually it's Pirates that's every team's farm system. Oh, Pirates have a good player. Oh, let's get some of that, shall we? Yeah, that's usually like this dude named Skeen on Pittsburgh. He's like I don't know what he was picked, but everyone was waiting for him to come out, and he comes out smoking. He is on fire. I wouldn't be shocked if next year he's the top pitcher in the NL. But I can already tell teams are coming for Skeen because Pirates always trade away the best players. So I'd have to look back at the
at all. But
no, they won't trade him this year. This year is for them to show him off before they trade him because that's just what they do. But I'm just saying, what did Garrett Cole get on a lower rookie deal when Yankees came and said, "Oh, we'll take him off your hands"? Because Pirates must have got a lot because I don't remember what it was. There's no way I was trading Garrett Cole for trash. But then again, maybe Pirates are just used to it. I don't want this team to turn into the Pirates where year after year, other teams just come in and take our best guy and say, "Thank you, adios, see ya."
So minor clarification. Stat Boy checking in.
Okay.
Garrett Cole was traded to the Houston Astros.
I was just about to say that.
Oh, okay.
4 players. Yes, he signed with the Yankees and free agency.
Right. That was
gotcha.
Was that what year did he sign with the Yankees? But yeah,
you know what? You're right. I barely remember him on the Astros. I do. Yeah. It's all coming back now. I'm just so used to him in the Yankees jersey. They only got 4 players. See, that's what I don't like. The best pitcher. Well, not that he was, but I think Crochet is the best pitcher in baseball. But it's similar circumstances. Is that all we're gonna get? Like, just get 4 players, and they're probably all prospects. Did any of them pan out from that Cole trade? Let me look it up. Oh, I hate baseball. Baseball trades are so stupid.
Potentially. So again, what would you say is a good return for the best pitcher in your mind in the sport? Are you looking for major league players in addition to high prospects?
I want someone who's a number 2 rotational player if you're going to take our number 1. I don't want a team to have now 2 number 1s and then push their number 2 to number 3. Well, so just going back, I'm looking at the Garrett Cole trade. They got Musgrove, who turns out to be mid. He's okay. Colin Moran, I don't know if he's still in the league. Jason Martin, mid. Michael Felix, and I don't know if he's still in the league. So Pirates didn't get much for Garrett Cole. I would like a starting pitcher already. That's a decent starter. Lowest I go is 3rd in rotation. Starter level, 3rd in the rotation, like left-hander Quintana. Starting potential prospect pitcher, their best prospect pitcher in the minor league, since baseball's so big on getting prospects. Their best prospect hitter in the minor leagues, and the 4th or 5th two positional players that we need offensively is either starters or backups. So a second baseman and a shortstop, or a second baseman and an outfielder to take the reins that's kind of heir to Eloy Jimenez, and now we can finally put a hard hitting outfielder out there. So I need 5 players, 2 of them currently starting mid tier players, 3 prospects, and that's a maybe. Oh, I keep forgetting because this is baseball because I keep forgetting about draft picks and 1 draft pick, 2 preferably. So 7. I need 7 things for Crochet. That's what I need.
Okay, so that's lofty. So first order of business, you cannot trade draft picks in baseball. So
Okay.
they don't do that.
Stupid, but
second,
continue. Okay, wait, I'm sorry if I didn't say this earlier. I feel like I say this every week. Baseball is stupid, but continue.
So I don't necessarily disagree with you on that part. Also, no team that's trading for what in your mind is the best pitcher in the sport in Crochet, no team that's trading for him to join their rotation at the same time is going to weaken their rotation by trading you their second or third best starter. That's not going to happen, because the whole point
Even
of
though
making
you
trade
get a
is to strengthen the rotation even better for a playoff push. So they're not going to trade you their second best pitcher or their third best pitcher for your one, because they'll be at the same spot. Like, they're overall, that's not an improvement for a team or a reason for a team to do that, because where's the net positive for them if they make that deal?
So the team that wants Crochet takes no risk. What is the point of being the worst team if the worst
There's
team
always
takes all the
risk
risk?
involved. But if I'm the Dodgers, if I'm the Yankees, if I'm the damn Padres, if I'm whoever I am, if I'm trading for Garrett Crochet because I believe that he's an elite pitcher in the sport, and my purpose in doing that is to make a playoff run deep into October because we're trying to win the World Series this year, then I'm not also trading the second or third best pitcher to you in exchange, because that's still going to weaken my starting rotation. So I'm not getting a net back that makes sense.
If in my head, the teams that are going to trade for Crochet already have a solid rotation. In fact, they probably have a very mid 3 through 6 or 7, because even their backups are just as good as their third. All we're doing is taking a third. So if you're going to trade for Crochet and your rotation is that weak where you need your top 3, in my opinion, don't trade for Crochet. I think teams like the Dodgers, the Yankees, who can lose. Well, Gil's a rookie too, but they can lose a Rodon. Not that I'd want Rodon back, but they've got so much from 1 through 5. I don't think they would miss any of them that much as far as 3 to 6, and they would still improve at Crochet. I think it's situational. I don't think it's automatically now we're a weaker team because we got Crochet, but we lost Quintana. I don't think Mets downgrade getting Crochet and losing Quintana, but they do lose a left-hander. And I know every rotation still at least wants a decent left-hander.
Well, Quintana's not going to be a guy that teams are going to look at and say we can't trade him. But
no, of course not. I'm just speaking to the overall. I don't want to get rid of my 3 for your number 1, who's arguably as good as my number 1. So now you get 2. Imagine Sale and Crochet on the same team. Lopez, who has the lowest ERA in the league, is the number 3 now. And then the Flaherty's who I don't want. Flaherty, who could arguably be an ace on another team, is their number 4. And for example, we get Flaherty 3 picks, and we get a Beals, a hitter, and then they get Crochet. So they would arguably have 4 aces starting in the rotation, and God knows who their 5th is, and their 5th is probably still decent. But Flaherty, who could probably be a number 1 on Texas right now, is the number 4 in Atlanta because they have such a stacked rotation right now.
Yeah, and that's what I was going to use the Phillies as an example of that, because
another team with a stacked rotation.
Yeah, but if you're the Phillies and you decide that you're going to trade for a Crochet, and I highly believe that they won't be in the room with the Crochet, But yeah, like you're not going to trade a Zach Wheeler because you got Nola or Suarez or vice versa. Like you're not going to trade one of those guys to get Crochet back in return, because the point is to make your rotation that much stronger. And trading one of those players away is only going to keep you closer to the same level you're already at. I think
all right.
I think the more realistic.
I take Chris. I take Chris Sanchez. I take their fifth. Or I think John Walker's back. I take Chris Sanchez. I just want a capable starter, because now we don't even have starters. Right now, Sox are in a position where if we trade Crochet, Soroka is back starting. So it's like, what the fuck are we doing? What's the point of losing so much if we can't even get a top 10 pick? Like, we don't make sense as far as the team builds to lose Crochet, because there's no one that we're saying, yo, this guy in sixth spot is probably better than the guy in fifth. We're so bad, we don't technically even have a fifth. Clevenger's out for 15 days. We don't know who to put at the fifth. I think Getz called me up and was like, yo, Harry, yo, you want to come down there? We want to see you throw a little bit. And I was like, no, I don't want to throw, because y'all suck right now.
You gonna go down there and throw out that 45-mile-an-hour fastball that you've been working on?
You know what? I got the 46, so get ready for my fastball. But yeah, no, it's tricky. I can see a team full of mid to below mid pitchers. Well, I won't say below mid. A team full of mid pitchers, like for example those guys up north, those scrubs up north, going like, damn, we do need a true ace, and now we can move Imanaga to second in the rotation where he belongs until he just like fixes his control, because he gives up a lot of fucking hits, but the defense always saves him. And he gives up a lot of hits, but when the defense is having a bad game, he might be the new Kendricks. Kendricks used to also be someone where, but Kendricks was an off-ball pitcher. Current Kendricks now, I don't know what he is, but Kendricks would still give up hits. But
are you saying? Hold up, time out. Are you saying Kendricks or Hendricks?
I can't remember his name. Is it Hendricks or Kendricks? Who knows? It's the Cubs. We don't care about the Cubs. We can call them whatever we want. It's the Cubs. No one cares about them. Hendricks, Kyle Hendricks, whatever his stupid name is. He's a Cubs player. So it's stupid. Don't correct me. Don't ever correct me. But yeah, no, Hendricks. He used to be the off-ball guy that gave a lot of hits, but they still won because they had great defensive schemes. And they still have pretty good defensive schemes. They just don't have any offense. But in games where there's no offense, I can see them going, yo, we've got 5 pretty okay, solid mid-rotational guys. Same with like the Giants, for example. I could see them trying to go after a Sale and giving us their 4th and their 5th guy just to get Sale, Imanaga, and they got like 4 pitchers whose names begin with J's, and they're all at about the same level. And we get the J's, and I could see them trying to pawn off Kendricks on us. But yeah, Hendricks is a guy who needs the defense behind him, or he's going to have a bad day, because he gives up a lot of off-ball hits, and they fly all over the place awkwardly. But when there's no defense, teams score a lot on that guy. I could see Royals, who are slowly having a low-key, strong rotation. Their top 5 are really strong out of nowhere. You saw what?
I said, yeah, they're having a decent year up there.
Yeah, Lugo, Reagans, and there's like 2 other guys, and I'm like, where are these guys coming from? Yeah, they're another team that might give up that 4th, maybe 3rd, doubtful, but that 3rd or 4th in the rotation, including a lot of other stuff for Garrett Crochet. Again, I don't want to lose Crochet. I'm just emphasizing, if we're trading Crochet because of our lack of depth in the starting rotation, I would need a starter level guy who's probably going to come in as our number 2, because they're so weak in the rotation once you get past flexing. Clevenger didn't really have a preseason, so he's going through trying to get his mojo back a bit, like Snell and Garrett Cole, who both got lit up early on, especially Snell. He got lit up early, but you can see him starting to get his mojo back, and Garrett Cole's going to need some time too, because he didn't get a preseason. But I could see us going for a package that eventually whoever we take that's starting now is who replaces Cole, and he'll probably be our number 2 guy while he was number 4, or he might be our number 1 guy if it's Flaherty, and he was like the number 4 on on his old team that was super stacked.
It's just dumb that Clevenger didn't have an off season. You knew you didn't have a deep or solid rotation coming into the year. Like, you knew in camp you didn't have what you needed. So why did you wait to sign Clevenger? Like, you should have signed him ahead of time. But it's just stupid.
It is.
So we've gone through the potential trades. I think a more realistic trade proposal, right? Let's bring it down just a little bit, because you asking for the sun, moon, stars, and everything
I want all
else.
the planets. Right.
I think a more realistic trade is more so prospect centered, as opposed to you trying to get 2 starters. What'd you say? 3, 4 top prospects, a draft pick. That's not realistic in the sport of baseball. I think more so you're going to get 3 or 4 prospects. And I think what you should really be trying to do, and I believe this was really my primary criticism with the Cease trade at the time, is if you're trading your best pitcher, which Cease was at the time before Crochet emerged, you need to be trying to get their top 2 or 3 prospects. And the Sox didn't get that when they made these trades with the Padres. They didn't get back a top 2 or 3 prospect out of their system at the time. If you do trade Crochet, and I'm not advocating for that, get back a team's best 2 or 3 prospects. Like, don't give me back the 8th best prospect in their system who is, top 85 overall in the top 100 prospects list. Like, no, get somebody who's the number 1 or 2 or 3 prospect in their system, who's a top 10, top 15, 100 prospect in the sport. That's what I want when you're trading for prospects. And prospects can be hit or miss. They're never a guarantee, because you're trading potentially for a guy who's, in his early 20s, who's never pitched at this level. So you don't necessarily know what he's going to be or hit at this level when you're looking at position players. But that was my primary criticism. If you're going to trade for Crochet, get somebody who's top 1, 2, or 3. Get somebody who's top 15, 20 overall in the MLB's top 100 pipeline, who you look at and has star level potential on them going forward. That's what you need to do if you're going to make these types of trades, whether that's Crochet or whether that's Luis Robert. And I'm not saying they should trade him, but that's what you should be looking for. I think that's a more realistic proposal. If you're looking for major league talent, I don't think you're getting back high level prospect talent at the same time. I think it's kind of one or the other.
Okay.
But moving on, upcoming schedule, because this Dodgers game is bottom 6, 4-0. The comeback's not going in the White Sox favor at the moment, but going forward, you got a makeup game with the Braves tomorrow, 3 against the Colorado Rockies. After that, you got 3 against the Cleveland Guardians, and then you got the Marlins. What do you think happens over that stretch of games?
Marlins are a sneaky good team. They don't really have that much talent. They got like 3 ex-Sox players, but they feel like one of those stepping stone teams that you have to step up against if you want to prove that you're a playoff team. They've got a lot of strong pitching. They've got defense. Their offense only comes from 3 guys, though. Marlins are going to be tricky. Them and the Rays, I think, are both in the same category of sneaky good, or sneaky enough to cause issues. Atlanta,
is that a series they can win, or do they get swept, or what would you say?
I think as long as we stay healthy, we can take 2 out of 3. I don't know
Okay.
who's pitching. I'm pretty sure Crochet and Fed are both pitching versus Miami, but
Well,
it's at Miami.
that series is more so in the future. Like I said, they've got
Yeah.
a makeup game with Atlanta tomorrow because there was a game that was rained out.
Yep.
They didn't get to play, so they're making up this one. Then they played the Rockies Friday, Saturday, Sunday. So
I don't
Colorado
like makeup games. I don't like makeup games because our arms are tired. We haven't. I don't think Sox have had a break since last week Monday, and then we don't get a break until next week Monday. So that's what 7 days, 10 games straight. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. 13 straight games, no breaks, away and at home. We went away to Detroit, so I think our bats are too tired. Colorado's hot right now. I don't. All I can tell you, they don't even have Chris Bryant healthy. It's just McCann and how do you pronounce the name? And a lot of the other guys, they're good contact hitting team. Yeah, Colorado, low key, Rockies score a lot of points. So it's going to be tough because we don't have an offense to keep up with the Rockies. Hopefully, Thorpe has a good outing because they're not really a lights out defensive team. They just know how to hit. They've got a great hitting coach over there, and they score a lot. Cleveland will be tough. I'm so glad Bieber's injured, Shane Bieber, because he always destroys us. I'm sure he circles us on the calendar every year. Something about Shane Bieber and the White Sox that he absolutely hates, and he torches us yearly. I don't even know if he's out for season. I think he is, but he's out. But it does look like Thorpe is in the rotation officially because I'm seeing his name listed at least 3 times. So he's going to go up against Colorado. He's going to get another go against Cleveland. Cleveland will be tough for him because Cleveland is just a well-balanced team. They've got a lot of great number 2 rotational guys just waiting on Bieber to get back. McKenzie solid, Lively solid. Bybee, I think that's how you pronounce his name. He's solid. I think he's pitching.
Do you see the Sox winning? How many games do you see them winning in the next 10? 2, 3, all 10? Well,
you know me. My logic isn't the same as your logic because I'm always going to go 10-0. We're going 10-0, maybe 9-1, but I don't see any aces here for outside of Sale, who we're playing tomorrow. He's probably going to destroy us because our arms are tired, and again, we can't even score against the Dodgers right now. But against Sale tomorrow, at home, that might as well be his home because he's used to it. I can see us losing that game, but outside of that, I don't see any aces that are going to kill us. Everything's winnable. McKenzie, Lively, Carrasco, Quantrill, Hudson, Block, Stone even right now is beatable, but we're just not winning. But I'm going to go 9-1. How about you?
Shout out to going 9-1.
I only take the losses when I see aces there. Outside of that, I'm not worried about none of these pitchers.
I only got the Sox winning 2 games.
Two. Wow. 2-8. All right, well, we'll see what happens by the 7th, but you're going to eat your words when you're like, damn, Harry is right.
Okay. If I'm wrong, I'm wrong.
9-1. And Moncada should be coming back. I don't think the big 3 of Moncada, Robert, and Eloy has played together all year. We finally the big 3 might be finally coming back. So if that happens, hell, I can see that. Well, tomorrow he's not coming back tomorrow. Yeah, 9-1. Sale torches us. Probably has, because it's an away game, 7 to 8 Ks, and we score because Braves are having a scoring issue too, and the game ends 3-5 White Sox. Let's go.
Okay, I'll take it.
All right.
Yeah. I think we good, man. Send us on.
All right. That was a fun episode. Kept it a little longer than usual. I usually try to hard out at 30 minutes, but for you guys, the fans, because we love you so much, we let it go just a little bit longer. All right. Everybody, thanks for listening and joining us in making fun of the White Sox like we always do. It's me, Harry, and your favorite host, JJ3, signing out, and we will see y'all next week. All right. Peace out.
Peace.